Now, before any of you say that I'm really overthinking and completely crazy about all the ideas that I said, well, you're probably overthinking about this situation as well. I mean, sure, both Twilights on a boat might be confusing, and then when they get back, they could probably give Princess Twilight a disguise and they can go back to the Equestria portal back to Twilight's home. And besides, if Twilight didn't appear in the human world in the special, then the girls might be in a tight situation. And besides, the Equestria magic from the staff is way more dangerous than anything they have ever encountered. Because here's something that I noticed. Other than the situation that they deal with in Rainbow Rocks, almost everything involves about forgiveness and bad luck magic causing a lot of chaos. And it really shows until why Princess Twilight hasn't returned whatsoever. Yes, that includes the memory stone that Wildflower used in Forgotten Friendship, because even though it's kind of different, it's not that powerful. It's not as powerful as the staff. And besides, even if the stone is completely dangerous, it's still small. I mean, it's a very small item that completely make it completely invulnerable. So that's why the friendship of magic completely destroyed the stone completely. But with the staff, it's actually gonna be very difficult to take down. They completely took down a phone. They completely took down magic corrupting everyone. And the only difference that they did was the sirens. And Princess Twilight was part of that whole situation. Now, sure, she was in a struggle on trying to figure out the counterspell, thinking that she has the answers to everything. But at least she has a reason to be in Rainbow Rocks, to actually help the other characters stop the sirens. Sure, the other characters were having problems and they didn't think clearly, but they probably give a lot of development on Sunset Shimmer. And that's why later on, Sunset Shimmer needs a lot of development to really improve herself. And after Forgotten Friendship, I think Sunset Shimmer has gotten much as development as she really needs. Other than the portal getting leaked from so many magics to different locations. And besides, I really don't think that having the Rainbooms taking down the staff by themselves would easily work. Because they would still have the powers, but they never do anything new with them. And if they do something new here, going to Equestria will make things even more pointless. The fact that we saw Human Dash and Sky Twilight entered the portal, you need to take a look at the title again. I mean, when you think about the cruise in the world the other side, what do you think of those combinations together? Really, seriously. To me, the other side is just the other side of the world or the other side of the other person. And to me, having Princess Twilight entered the mirror world for one more time and helping everyone will probably make everything better for the special, because keep in mind, the leaked photos that we saw isn't the entire special, because by that time in December, they were still working on Forgotten Friendship and Roller Coaster of Friendship. And since that Roller Coaster of Friendship is over, they're putting on the focuses on the other side. And they're still getting to work on it to this day. And I think the reason why they show the promos of in the sand in the Comic-Con is because this is the most that they got done. I mean, it's probably just less than a minute in comparison to 44 minutes. That's literally the best that they can do. And by the way, watching this, I guarantee you that they pretty much did everything that they need to do before the other side premieres. I mean, after Forgotten Friendship, they pretty much did everything and they have no other choice. I mean, the only thing that they did for the fans is to have both Rarity and Applejack have a special together. And no offense, but I don't think that Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, or the other characters might have another special again because, well, I just don't understand how it worked out. And besides, I think this special is gonna be mainly focused on Sky Twilight again, since Sky Twilight only had a focus in Legend of Everfree. In friendship games, she was a villain. Well, not really a villain, but an antagonist. But in Legend of Everfree, was the only movie that she has the most focused on. Now, I'll be very honest with you. While my earlier rants on Human and Princess Twilight were way too early, especially the fact that in June 14th of 2016, I released the rant, it was probably too late, and I was a new brony back then. I mean, I already known of the first 3 movies and not much of the TV show whatsoever. So I can really not agree to the fact that Princess Twilight and Sky Twilight would meet each other in Legend of Everfree because I was new back then and I thought that this would have been a great idea, but I was too much into it and I didn't notice that they kind of interacted a little in the Twilight Sleepover Surprise book. But later on, after Legend of Everfree premiere, more hope that I can think that it could happen in the specials. It may be a bit too early, but to be honest, I think at this point in the other side could be the time. Because in my opinion, they really don't have anything else to do, like I said before. Now, I can understand that the doppelganger situation might be very difficult to handle, considering the fact that it leads to a lot of plot holes, but again, that's overthinking about it. I've been seeing fan art of people talking about Twilight, which is basically Sky Twilight and Princess Twilight. And they always discuss about the situations of what's going to happen next between these two characters. And we never had that. And during that time, people want to see Princess Celestia and Santa Chimel meet each other after the events of the first movie. And this is probably the only thing that they have left. And another thing, and this is probably the biggest, is the fact that My Little Pony Season 9 would be the final season, since we don't get any confirmed that the 10th season will happen, because it will never happen. I mean, believe me, if MLP might come to an end, if MLP comes to an end on its 4th generation, then Equestria Girls could. Now, it could be possible that it could outlive My Little Pony, and it could leave the actresses, but we never know what's going to happen. It could end. And believe me, having both counterparts working together, involving the situation by stopping the storm from causing a lot of chaos, this is the perfect time. I know we still didn't get a lot of information about the other side, and it's still too early, but please think about it for a second. And also watch the other videos that I made, the top 5 reasons why Princess and Human Twilight should interact. It really droves into a lot of great ideas of what they can do. Because I know it's going to work out. And people saying that it's a little too early for that, then what else can they do? They can't have the other characters use their joy powers to stop the storm because, again, it's not going to work. It's going to be very complicated. Because in the MLP movie, the main characters didn't do the friendship is magic to stop the staff because they knew it would never work. I mean, sure, they were being overpowered by the gods, but at the same time, the staff was still unstoppable. The staff is a one of a kind. And believe me, I think the time is really up. And if it really doesn't happen, then I could either just give up on the Equestria Girls since it could never happen, or just probably still continue, because if this show can outlive MLP, then I'll give it more shots, even though I give it like 3 or 4 shots, but still. Just please think about this situation. Just please think about this topic about Princess and Sky Twilight working together on the other side. I know the plot will probably be more confusing of Sky Twilight being involved into these entire situations, but this is really important. And Princess Twilight can do a spell to take down the staff itself. It may be a very hard thing to think about, but it's the only way to stop the staff from causing a lot of chaos and have the cruise being back to the way it was by having all the characters go back to the resort vacation. And has been my story analysis on the other side. Yeah, I completely overthinked a lot in this, but don't think that I'm wrong. Sometimes it could work out if they actually knew what to do, because at this point, they have nothing else. Since that Season 1 of the digital series is coming to an end after Roller Coaster of Friendship, because we still got no news that there's going to be more shorts after Roller Coaster of Friendship's YouTube premiere, we might get more information about the second season. And it could happen in November, the same way that the first season of digital series premiered last year in November 2017. Just keep in mind and actually think about the ideas that I mentioned. I know this is like a 4-part video or 3-part, but believe me, my story analysis is probably the biggest example of what's going to happen on the other side. Just believe that. Like what Twilight says, this isn't goodbye. This is just goodbye. This is goodbye until next time. Her quote from Rainbow Rocks.